Yo. Morning, people. How's it going?
Match found.
Match found.
Deathmatch. Warm up.
We play more crouch spray death matches. Damn, Carnage is flexing his rank up. Ooh, true. We do need a dancing sticker. That's a good request. I approve. All right. And then we transition into heckin' lo-fi. Moonlight Rara. Favor the prime.
Destroyed. Target dead.
Okay, this ran past. Whoa.
Dominating.
On your way back a 4-hour journey for meeting your friend you met on Valorant? Yo, what the? That's actually, I think those are the coolest meetups. Like I met up with a bunch of my League of Legends friends who I was online friends with for like a decade back in college, and that was really fun. Going out for sushi. Ooh, I am trying sushi today for the first time. I know it doesn't make sense. I live in Seattle. I haven't tried sushi, but I told my girlfriend, like, I want you to take me to a place with good sushi when I try it. But you know, it can't be like the world's best sushi, because then I won't like anything else. Anyway, she found a place. We're going today. That's why there's no watch party today for the VCT games. Sushi with girlfriend comes first, chat.
Dominating. 10 kills remaining.
If you're wondering when the watch parties are, I went ahead and filled up the events tab with the ones that I will be doing for sure. So just go check that.
Dominating.
Kill confirmed. 3 kills. Four kills.
Dominating. Five kills remaining. One kill remaining. Dominating.
GG's. GG's. Trent's in this lobby. Yeah, I don't think that's him. Eight tips for how to hit Radiant by the end of next month /day. I had my first session with Masayoshi yesterday, and dude, this guy's cracked. This guy's cracked. I'll share some of the tech I learned for him with you guys, because I don't care, and he already showed it as well. We covered Haven and Descent. I mean, his first Haven game, I was like reviewing his VOD, and he already did like everything, so I had to give him more notes. Heckin' sponge. But for all the Rays players, let me show you this nade. I workshopped this one. Dude, his movement is insane. His movement is insane. We're watching his Haven VOD, and this guy's got a round. This dude, like, he like prepped the satchel, and then he like, I don't even know how to explain, but he like launched his rocket and popped the satchel. It was like crazy. Anyways, the lineup is kind of like this. See if I can hit it. Yeah. So it bounces all the way into health, as you can see. And it's a little finicky, but once you get it right, you can get it every time. And this way, he wasn't sure what to do when that was smoked. Yeah, you can't throw it. It doesn't work during smoke. So you can find a really precise lineup and use the ground, but it's like not consistent. This only works when Heaven's not smoked. So it's not that useful. But you line up in the center, you're aiming here on like this line thing, and then you hold forward and you wait uncomfortably long, and then you throw it. Yeah, look, I screwed it up. Why? I'm the coach player. Here we go. Let's play Rankdle. Yeah, if it's smoked off, you just throw like a normal graffiti nade or default nade. All right, Rankdle. You can figure out smoke lined up for that? Yeah, so could I, but it's really inconsistent. It's actually like a really precise place you need to aim.
Look at you go.
The comm is look at you go.
Oh, you're so good. Oh!
Now see, this could be a duo smurf situation where his friend is like silver and this guy we're watching is like diamond. I'm gonna go with plat. Yeah, it's really hard to say. All right, nice. We get 1 star.
Found them.
Can they just not put clips with gun buddies in it? Why'd they have to accept
Player
this
div.
one?
Player div. Walk through my crosshair. Player div. Player div.
Oh,
This guy pre-comming player dead.
One more.
One enemy
Player dead.
remaining.
One more.
Spike down. B.
It's an ult, but one more. You have this.
Still inside.
Yeah, you just get to send it and then you pray he didn't hit radiant.
You handsome motherfucker.
Yeah, it's still diamond.
Ah.
After this one.
Czuję satysfakcję.
I swear, if you're in this rank, you're so obviously bad at the game. Oh my god.
Ah.
Let's watch the clip.
After this one.
Czuję satysfakcję.
Został jeden gracz. Spike leży na A.
It's just the crosshair placement and the movement. I don't know, something about it is so obviously like
Jeden wróg.
Trójka załatwiona.
painfully unrefined.
Mam spajka.
It's like no amount of aim skill could save this player from bronze.
Tworzyłam barierę.
Wow, it's so hot.
Spajk podłożony.
It's so hot, but oh my god.
Owned.
Jestem tylko
Owned. 4 stars, man. That's not bad. That's not bad. Let's see. JPC. JPC's having he's having the mental battle chat. He's back down to plat 2. He had some bad games, but he came back. A 225 ADR loss yesterday. That's a tilter right there. That's a tilter. What rank was the Sage clip? What's Sage clip? Oh, you mean the last guy? Bronze. I presume you weren't talking about the last clip for some reason. We got him.
Match found.
JPC's Pearl win rate ain't looking too rosy. Yeah, I saw that. He had a ton of teammates who were throwing, being toxic, making weird noises. Oh, that shit's the worst. That's the worst, man.
Death match. Warm up.
Give him a taste of the Phantom. Got him.
Dominating.
Got him. Coin.
better than us. I can tell.
All right, let's
Fight.
focus up. Give
Hit them
JPC a
fast, hit them
true
hard.
test in the deathmatch. The Viper just was like, no, thank you.
Hey, door.
What? Oh my god, that's a true deathmatcher right there.
Dead. Sova's dead.
Dominating.
Dead. Got you.
Ooh. Oh my god, this chamber is cooking, dude. This chamber is cooking.
Worthless. Sova's dead.
Take those. Bro, these guys are playing crazy angles. Oh, I suck.
Pitiful. 3 out. Make it 4. Weak.
Dominating.
Ooh. Oh, I missed it. Damn. Where are my fights at? Oh,
Amateur.
it keeps cutting out. Do you guys refer to what this person is talking about?
10 kills remaining.
What's it? Not cutting out for me. No issues for me. Oh, the music. Okay, wait. I gotta remove the noise gate. There's a noise gate and the music's probably too quiet that it activates the noise gate when I'm not talking. When I am talking, it's probably fine.
9 kills remaining.
All right, I gotta play in this DM first, though.
One kill remaining.
Damn.
Dusted.
Chamber can cook.
Hell yeah, let's go
Let me
again.
see. It is on this. Damn. Should be good now.
Match found. Deathmatch. Warm up.
Yeah, one sec. Sorry, chat. I was responding to a DM.
We move as a unit, okay? Last thing I
Except for the
need is
white
some
reaver for
hero
some
rising
reason.
things
There's
up.
got to be a
I got
roost
you,
there.
okay?
I think I equipped
Killed
this one because I
their
thought it
own.
was the optimal crouch spray weapon. Yeah, wait. Let's go on crouch spray mode. Oh, and then I think we gotta use like crouch spray crosshair. Where the hell does this guy go? Dude, this guy's different. By the way, chat, I am joking.
That's 3.
Nobody legitimately binds their crouch to left click. But goddamn, I can cook.
Dominating.
Killed their omen.
It's actually so much better. Bro!
Rift Walker's dead. Taken out. No more Viper. Enough.
Actually broken. Play all DMs like this.
Out.
Never mind, the crouch pulled me onto that guy's body.
Headshot. Dropped. No more Viper. That's 3.
Ooh, but when it hits though,
One less.
God, I'm a master Vandal player. Oh. I couldn't help myself. I actually went to
Buried.
I went to like burst.
One dead.
Wait, is this broken?
10 kills remaining.
Finished. is down.
Dominating.
Oh, 136.
End.
131.
5 kills remaining.
Phone.
Sleep tight.
1 kill remaining.
Practice for sofa. That is true.
Chin up, that was good.
All right, all right. JPCC's in the restroom. He'll be right back, and then he's gonna queue up, and we're gonna play his rank game. How's everybody's weekend going? Reminder for the tier 3s, we've got pro analysis this evening. And by this evening, I mean in 2.5 hours. Oh, actually, sorry, 1.5 hours. Hungover. Dang. Yeah, we'll get the rank icon going. Don't worry. He's currently plat 2. He's having a bit of a tough time. Can tier 2s watch you play rank? Yes. Yes, they can. I play ranked on pretty much most weekdays now. Wait, your stream has my rank badge in plat, but you're ascendant? Did you update it? The rank icon channel? Do you know NL is back with chess content? Yeah, I saw. It's always a fine line between watching like a beginner play chess and an expert play chess. Like, I don't know. I find it very hard. If somebody's only like marginally worse than me at chess, I find it really hard to watch. If they're a lot worse, it can be like entertaining. If they're a lot better, it can be entertaining. But you know, like when they're 100 elo worse than you and they're playing a good game and then they just miss like a really good move. And then they don't do analysis after and they never see that they missed it. Or even worse, they do analysis, but they skip past that part. Oh. Top 10 anime betrayals. A number 6 anime betrayal for sure. The pros yesterday committing to sprays a lot under pressure. No, you don't understand when they commit to sprays. Hey, what up, JPC?
Good morning.
All right, Chad, I lied. He wasn't using the bathroom. We've seen the same names popping him very frequently during my streams. So he queued up and popped a game already. Yeah, and I don't see the guy anymore. We literally dodged him.
Good morning, everyone.
I don't know. JPC's win rate on stream games is significantly lower than his win rate when he's off stream. And we found a correlation to that. Which is super cringe, but I think we're good to go this game. I'm muted.
Alright, Chamber, I'm gonna peek this. If there's somebody there, I'll run away crying. If there's no one there, I'm gonna knife out Stimmy and try to flank for shot. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, joining DM is fine.
Stim beacon here.
No one here? They're going A?
Oh no, are we gonna get a
They'll
remake?
probably remake.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
Oh no.
Last drop. Okay, then they're probably flanking. KO will catch him.
He's actually cursed. He's actually
I did, yeah.
cursed.
They're waiting for their Reyna to come back. This is their duo.
Ooh, that would be nice. Who's stream snipes JPC? The same dude was also stream sniping Darshan during his stream games.
Yeah, maybe.
A YouTuber actually caught them for me. They made a comment, a recent JPC video. They pointed out their username, and I'm like, wait,
Nice.
you're so right. Oh, it's lit. The Reyna's here, guys. We're chilling. People will do like anything for RR, but it
Consider
might
it,
not
yeah,
even be
they
like
could,
RR
yeah.
motivated. Like they could just heckin', like there could be malicious intent. Whatever. I got my blanket. Watching my JPC. He's improving. Got Sheriff on round 2.
They know I'm flanking.
One enemy remaining.
Cook him, JPC. Cook him.
Nice, well played.
Kind of an easy round. Let's go. Any way to spot those cypher traps earlier? If you're sprinting, it's pretty hard.
I don't know that one.
I don't know. Like, that's sort of like asking any way to dodge flashes earlier, and the answer is yes. It's kind of like to expect them. Like, I don't get hit by cypher trips like that much at all because I sort of expect the trip to slow down a bit. But I'm not thinking about it, to be clear.
wow.
Oh, that
101 to
was
fade.
such a nice try. Like, I don't think about it, to be clear. I just like feel like there might be a cypher trip. JPC economy is weird. Is it? Looks fine to me. This is bonus round.
Last player standing.
You feel like your Plat 3 games are harder than JPCs? That's because you're watching JPC right now. Anytime you watch gameplay, it looks slower than when you experience it. So when you watch like a platinum level lobby, this is why a lot of people go, that's platinum, when they watch like a VOD pack and it's not them playing. But when they're in the moment, they feel like it's heckin' high octane. The more you watch your own VODs, like the more grounded to reality you can get. There's a reason I have yet to score a single 0-star on Rankdle. Okay? Do I get some wrong? Yeah, of course. But I get Rankdles right consistently. I don't get any 0 stars. Because there is like a tangible difference between player skill level.
They smoke B.
Smoke's down.
Too early in the molly.
Sand.
You feel like your games are super slow compared to streamers? Are you watching Diamond streamers or are you watching Radiant streamers?
Spike down A. Last player standing.
What you're saying is that you should VOD review so you never get 0 stars on Rankdle. I don't know, man.
There
I think being able to guess Rankdle, it requires a specific set of skills. I think you really have to do a lot of like solo queue specific VOD review.
They've got nerve.
What's the average rank of your viewer? No idea. Oh, there's 3 dish.
Smoke's down.
Okay, he needs, yeah, he should take this slow. They're gonna walk right into him, yeah. They're gonna flash. Wow. So the way JPC positioned was not good because he didn't anticipate the breach flash. Just be careful. That was a breach, and the way you positioned, if he just flashes you, you're in a lot of trouble. Like he positioned way out in the open.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Unless you genuinely knew that and you're thinking I'll dodge it, then it's
I
fine.
was not. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking it. That's fair. Yeah, yeah.
Because it actually is fine if you're planning on dodging it. A lot of people do that. I personally don't. I'm slow as nails though. Like you're literally faster than me. But yeah, if you like pre-fire in your head that you're gonna dodge it, that's fine. But I didn't think you did. So
No, I didn't. Yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah, yeah.
30 seconds left.
can you coach Masayoshi to have less ads on his Twitch stream? No, just sub to him. Masayoshi's a homie. Oh, back.
10 seconds left.
See how afraid these guys are? You're not alone. I think just snap his fingers and Reina's not even looking at him.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw. I
Tell
actually thought he
Masayoshi
died.
he's too handsome. I don't think I need to tell him that. I think he knows. Why did title change to Send vs 100 Thieves? It did? I'm gonna fact check you. Fact check you. What the hell? Set title Boomer to dive in. There we go. The hell? Thanks for the report. Thank you. What the hell? Who reported it? Let's find them.
Spike down B.
Fuck, 120 breach. Wow.
I know exactly where.
Did somebody reply to
Nice.
the dude reporting it?
Last player standing.
Here it is, Renko. Well, if you want to attend the Pro Analysis Live, Renko.
Why are you looking up?
Hey, if there's punishment for lying, there has to be reward for truth telling. Otherwise, people will be afraid to tell the truth on the off chance that they're experiencing a bug, you know? It's just Bucky angle, and you just stay tower all around. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck the armor. You're chilling. Now we just pray we don't get Brim ulted, chat.
1 arcade, 2 arcade.
Oh, I hate him having his smoke out
I
there.
dropped 2.
So the biggest weakness a like platinum level player has with the Bucky here is he's gonna peek out tower or something, or he's gonna, yeah, like he needs to trust his team on A entirely, because there could be one B lurker, and it's more worth for us to control that for a while. Oh, this is lit though. Good read. Yeah, you had the read, but I don't think you swing that angle in deathmatch the way you just swung it there.
You mean weak and scared?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fickle.
Fickle.
Fragile. Look at their awareness, Katie. That guy's got confidence. And he's the only one with it.
Yeah.
That's the only difference between you and that guy right now.
Okay.
Also, be careful with you mollied early on round like 3, and your smokes are coming a bit early. You're incentivizing them to rotate there when you have a Bucky tower.
Oh, okay. All right, that's fair. I was incentivizing them to go tower.
Yeah, but they just feel the resistance and they know you're on
And they
Eco.
just push back. Yeah, plus they died B main once. Okay, that's fair. 100%.
Off your feet! Prepare for hellfire!
Oh, this routing is questionable.
Face your fear!
We're getting pushed.
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
Yeah, generally when you're the arcade player, they're rushing B, you like go tower. And then off that like B ult, you can like carefully peek them.
Okay.
It's a big though, they didn't get the bomb down. There's no way Reyna 1v3 is your team.
I mean,
There's no way.
this will be proof that she's a Smurf, though, right? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm kidding.
It doesn't matter. You're almost at a point where Smurfs don't really affect you.
No, I agree.
Like there's a hill. Now
yeah.
stream sniping, that affects everybody, but I'm almost entirely sure we dodged that. Because there's no world people were randomly queuing up while I said you're in the bathroom to snipe you. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And so this game should be pretty pure.
Agreed.
30 seconds left.
And like, yeah, even if they're like an immortal Smurf, it really doesn't matter at this point. Because if you play like your good game, you can actually beat an immortal player. It's not like when you're silver, you can like make good decisions and the immortal will just dump on you because there's nothing you can do aim wise. But you can beat me in an aim duel. Through and through.
1 out of every 5 times, I think. Yeah, I agree.
You can beat me more often than that. But only when you're taking the aim duel without like worrying about losing it.
Yeah, fair.
And that's the real difference between you and the immortal player in a ranked game, especially when they're on a Smurf. That immortal player on their main, they're more afraid than they are when they're smurfing. But when they're smurfing, they're not afraid of shit, you know?
Yeah.
But you kind of have to like match them.
Launching smoke.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, indeed, JPC. Luck. Not cool, but
There's an op.
understandable. You'd
Brim
expect
has an
that
op
guy
on
to
him,
clear
so
you.
I'm scared.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, I like that round, minus the Miss Molly, of course.
Yeah,
It's also not uncool to shoot that guy because you really do have to expect the first guy to be looking at you there off audio.
Yes. Yeah. I felt like I was super cool there. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be so cool here. Yeah,
The only thing is the way you just swung fade right after, you have to be expecting her to look at you. When you get that kill from behind the box, you just have to gamble that you have a teammate who will help you. And then if that help doesn't come, you're dead. Happens.
Okay.
But swinging is also always you're dead, generally.
Okay, so don't swing.
Don't swing until like a teammate helps you, and then suddenly you're like, oh, now I can swing.
Okay, all right.
What rank is JPC right now? Good question. I wonder.
I'll smoke drop.
Smoke's down. Launching smoke.
Ooh, he's in a lot of trouble with this drop angle if he keeps routing this way. Okay, we're chilling. Yeah, they are dropped. And now he's in danger. The guy's just walking out at main.
30 seconds left.
Oh yeah, we're not afraid of this guy.
Oh my god.
Ooh, we were afraid of that guy.
80 Cypher.
One enemy remaining. Spike planted. Last player standing.
Blocking sight.
You just turned that guy into Schrodinger's fade. When you're
Wait,
like
say that
on
again?
site like that, remember when you had swung a main and you saw nothing?
Yeah.
I'm just chilling and holding a main for a while there. Like,
Okay.
and super happy to fight them. They come.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it's hard to explain. Or then when you see them come dash, like, or come sand, like I just go and look sand and be super happy to look to take a fight. It's like, you like, it felt like you were like obligated to fight Cypher. I don't know how to explain it. I will go back and look. I don't know how to word it. I gotta think about this.
Smoke's down.
I didn't hear him thinking to himself, fight me. Let's go.
Last player standing.
You think hitting Radiant's possible with a 60 hertz monitor? I think the answer to that question is irrelevant because you should never try to do that.
Not your best.
Spike planted.
And I'd never want to say yes to that because then people will go, okay, perfect.
Last round in the
60
half.
hertz time.
Halftime. Don't save a thing.
I think playing on 60 hertz is a massive, massive disadvantage. How big a disadvantage 150 milliseconds latency? I hate
Breach is
questions like
arcade
this.
too?
I'm gonna start timing people out for asking shit
One
like that.
enemy remaining.
He was
It doesn't
arcade.
matter. What matters is it's a disadvantage. The magnitude of it, who cares? Big.
Could have taken rope. He could have taken rope. Yeah. Nice, nice.
I am not clean.
Switching sides.
Leader to dodge timeout. Oh, did he? I got him, right? I think I got him. Yeah, let's see Frenzy.
Same,
Let's
same.
see Frenzy. Now, if that
That's-
doesn't give you confidence, I don't know what
That
will.
was, yeah, no, that was the motivation I needed.
It is
right there.
time. I need to see some aggressive JPC plays to relax and study too.
You have to wait.
It's just a timeout, that 150 MS one? Yeah. You need to be able to burp like that to hit Radiant? Yes.
That was a bad peek.
It's a hard filter. Oh, it's a free kill.
There's one drop.
Oh, did we WD? We'll take that one back.
Breach was dropped.
One
Oh,
enemy
never mind.
remaining.
Ignore me. I meant Cypher. I'm an idiot. My bad.
Do you remember the Fracture Swift play game we played where I won the 1v5 and OD had to give me a gifted?
Yes.
Remember how I fought that dish kid?
No.
Yeah, perfect. I'll pull it up
Yeah, not off the top of my head. No.
after the VOD. Yeah. It's like the way you take the fight increases your odds of losing. I'll show you.
Oh, because I go left and you went right instead. On
Okay,
approach.
I'll show you. I'll show you.
Okay. 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 Well, I made a sound.
Oh, my Discord ad isn't on.
Launching
I
smoke.
forgot about it. After the round, chat. After the round. We can't miss high octane JPC gameplay.
Nobody tower.
Nice kill.
Down B.
Oh, we have a
smoking,
bit of a
Jack?
gunfight hygiene issue, chat. And this is one, oh man. This is one you guys get so wrong, even though I'm very
Jack.
clear in my guide about it. So he tagged that guy at mid-range. We should crouch spray.
Go around, guys.
We should crouch spray. And I see people, they'll frequently call people out for crouch spraying too much when I personally think they're crouch spraying like a good amount. And then you guys will reference my video as like proof that they're crouch spraying too much. And it hurts me. Why did black out? Because I was fixing the Discord ad in the top right corner. But it'll be like, there was this Immortal guy's clip and he's like, when he Woojin crosshair hits, and the video got recommended to me and I watched and it was a good clip. I left a comment. And a lot of people were like, dude, you crouch spray every fight. How do you get away with it? And I was watching it and he surely did not crouch spray every fight. He crouch sprayed when it made sense, which happened to be a lot of the fights in the clip. And people were like, dude, your gunfight hygiene sucks for Immortal. And I'm like, his gunfight hygiene is perfect.
One just.
So you've got like the wrong mental model of gunfight hygiene. Crouch spraying is bad if it's what you do every fight without thinking. It's good if you do it at the right times, which a lot of the time is like, it's very frequent. It happens a lot.
Last player standing.
Like right there.
Ooh.
That should be a crouch spray from KO. Yeah, but he was super delayed on it.
Threw her off. Or the flash from the knife. That was interesting.
Yeah, and a lot of people just assume that crouch spray in general equals bad. And I've never said that. I explicitly say you commit to a spray at mid-range if you tag bullets.
So Breach stunned here last round and then peaked. He's going to fix his stun.
Even below gold? Yes, correct gunfight hygiene. For below gold players, I say you need to have good gunfight hygiene in 80% of your fights and your VODs to qualify for the free coaching stipulation if you don't hit gold. You can't process fast enough for tagging the burst. Yeah, that's what you do DMs for. To be clear, none of this is conscious. You fix like singular errors in your gunfight hygiene through trial and error while playing DM.
Yeah, never mind. You're good.
Last player standing.
Oh,
God.
That's right.
Oh God.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think we actually need to talk macro with JPC today. It's very rare, but I do not like our fracture macro. I like this. Arcade side is really comfortable. But dish, I find really... Dish is like not it for me. Yeah, I don't know why people say you should never crouch spray. I say that is a really bad problem if it's your default approach to a gunfight. Your default approach should be bursting, which is exactly what JPC has. To a degree where when he should crouch spray, sometimes he bursts instead. Which is lit.
I fucking.
That was a good fight. That was a good fight.
Brim is arcade.
He thought he tagged there. It was a good fight. That was a good fight by the way, JPC. You got unlucky. You can't win every fight.
Player standing.
I will be showing you some fights where you took them very poorly, but that one was not one of them. I want to be clear.
No, I just whiffed on that one. I thought that was an okay fight.
Yeah, you didn't even really whiff. The crouch spray looked good. I think you got a little unlucky.
Okay, good. Hey, all right. I'll take that.
Yeah, just be careful. You're starting a lot of rounds like solo arcade, solo dish. Really nice to have one guy there. Like if you remember last round when you died dish, but you had a friend and they just traded you,
Yeah.
you get shielded from that negative outcome. Because right now, the expected value of that 50 against Brim is 50-50. So the expected value is 0. But when you have a friend, if that Brim is solo contesting arcade like that, your expected value is actually like 0.5, which is greater than 0. Because if you win, you kill him. And if you die, he gets traded and it's a 1-for-1. So at worst, it's a 1-for-1. I mean, of course, he can get 2, but that's like, I don't even think about the odds of that.
Yeah, fair. 100%. Like that. Brim is pushing from arcade.
Yeah, we're gonna watch that fight back.
Oh.
Ooh.
They're both there.
Remaining. Last player standing.
Nice.
Ooh, that's a lucky
run, guys.
shot. That's a
Yeah, it
lucky
was.
shot.
Yeah, it was. So funny.
Yeah.
Alright.
Call something. Call something.
Yeah.
You should see some patterns in their play.
Ooh, I gotta talk to you about that. I don't know if I gotta talk to you about that.
Their Brim contest
Reyna,
arcade alone.
Reyna, you wanna come this side with me again? Brim is pushing or contesting arcade alone the last couple rounds.
Yeah, and contesting alone isn't necessarily bad, but when it's a Brimstone who can't flash, he
Yeah.
doesn't have an exit, it's usually pretty good for you.
Cypher. There you go. Good trade.
You see, there's the trade. It's fine.
Yeah. Cypher was on B, guys. He threw his cam up.
That's worst case scenario, what we just got here, and that was a 1-for-1. You see, this round's totally fine.
Yeah.
Like, you would take this round every day of the week, because half of
I
the
would.
time, you kill that guy.
Nice.
Man, talking banana guy at the right read.
Nice. Good job, guys. Yeah. God, I just I was so mad. I was calming there, and I don't know. All right, Randy, do the same thing. Let's go dish. Let's go A. Reyna, come dish with me again.
This banana's
Reyna
never wrong.
is pushing from the side by herself.
I'm wrong a lot of the
last couple
time.
rounds. No, you're good. You're good.
You don't have to identify that you've hit them, Y crew. You should have a feeling
thank
that
you.
your bullet's going to hit them, and that's when you commit to the crowd spray. Where you're like, I totally am on this guy. I've got him now. Like, have you ever looked away from a target because you're sure you killed them, but then it turns out you didn't kill them? It's the same thing when committing to a crouch spray. That's why sometimes you'll see high-level players commit to a crouch spray without hitting any bullets, because they think that they've hit a bullet. If that makes sense.
Spike down. Attacker spawn.
Oh, this is really tough. This is infinitely tough.
Oh, it's UCT. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would have peeked
Another
that
good
guy.
trade. All right, look at that. All right, ace time. Ace time. I'm just gonna sit on spike. I play it smart.
Yeah, I really don't like pushing dish.
Nice try. Nice try.
I don't want to IGL too much for him. Like, at this level, I'm genuinely concerned that it would be like
Yeah,
borderline
the last
smurfing,
round,
because
but he
all
had ult
JPC's
too,
missing
so-
is strong plans at
He
the
stopped playing.
time.
Right here.
Guys,
Yeah, you see this? No stream sniper, and even though we're bot frag, the game is like super winnable. Yeah. Like, the way we're positioned to hold this Brim, we should be ADS'd, first of all. But yeah, you
Okay.
see how we're exposed to 2 threats?
Reyna's dish.
Face your fear.
And all of that was predictable. The Reyna contests dish pretty frequently. The Brimstone contests arcade. So why are we standing in the middle of both of them doing nothing alone, you know? At a minimum, we should be pushing into one of them so the other one can't shoot us in the back.
Teleport's ready.
Oh, that's top.
Player standing.
APC's going to need to make some more accurate plays here. This game is actually macro diff right now.
Nice try. Nice try.
I was talking about this with Cavern yesterday. It's hard to see, but a lot of people, they'll like watch pro gameplay and they'll be like, whoa, that guy's just winning his 50s. And you don't realize how hard it is to even get 50s at a high level. Like to even get to a point where you can get your duelist to 50-50 is incredibly difficult at a high level. Like if I dropped you into I drop you into like a Radiant lobby, you will just die every time, and it's not because you're getting aim diffed. You won't even find fair fights. What are we looking at? We're looking for camera, maybe? Stop playing bridge side. Bridge side is fine when you're pushing arcade. I like it. I push arcade like all the time. Now this hurts my head. The B main exposure. Oh, we're better. We should have gun out because where's Reyna? There she is.
Enemy remaining.
Oh, I fucked that up.
You see, that fight was totally
Nice.
avoidable,
Thank you
chat,
for saving
because
my
we
shit.
saw
That
our
was nice.
teammate break that trip last round. We're actually getting to a point where our awareness is hurting us more than our mechs. Took a while because JPC watches like every stream, so his awareness was always super good.
Randy, you want to come this side again?
But like, we should just keep killing this Brimstone. Like, I don't know why we come dish here. Coming dish challenges the Reyna. And the enemy Reyna, she has tools that can let her win 2v1s a lot more than a Brimstone. It's a lot harder to trade a Reyna. Now, it's a nice shot, but you see how we did end up fighting Reyna? You see how it was correct? Yeah, smoking ult, dude. We got 2 picks. We didn't ult.
One enemy remaining.
Easy game. Easy game.
Nice. GG's, guys. You have a good day.
GG's.
Fuck.
No, this is good. This is good. I think this is the first time where we actually just need to work on strategy. You're not finding fair gunfights.
Okay. I knew that was the problem all along. You know what I mean? Like, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't know if you were in the watch party yesterday, but I was talking.
I was not able to be.
Okay, so I was talking about this with Cavern, where a lot of people will be like, whoa, that guy's just winning his 50s in this pro game. And the thing is, you don't realize how hard it is to find 50s in games at that caliber.
Yeah.
And like you've played with us in that elo, and it can feel impossible. Like you just are getting laid out by people who are already ready for you in every like type of scenario, and you never feel like you've got good odds. All right, I'm sharing my browser. Can you see?
Let me pull. Yes, I see. Yeah, I see. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So we have this problem. I'm gonna open Valor Plant. So on Fracture, Brimstone has like 2 routes that I really like on attack. Going arcade is really comfortable, and then like splitting A is comfortable.
Okay.
And coming, if we're all B, I like coming under and coming arcade. So I find these to be like comfort zones for Brimstone. Dish is really uncomfortable for Brimstone. You don't have good tools to come out. I feel like you really want to flash or some movement ability to come out of Dish. So I generally don't like it unless like they're really screwing up their Dish play. And the problem was we had these 2 players. So we had the enemy Brim and the enemy Reyna. Okay.
Yep.
And I just didn't like that you chose to fight this Reyna when this guy was an option, because Reyna has tools that let her convert 2v1s a lot more often than a Brimstone.
Right. Blinds and
your teammate can always trade you if you die to this guy and he's playing an off angle. Your teammate cannot always trade you if you die to this guy and they're playing an off angle.
Okay,
but
that makes sense.
Even with that in mind, you kept fighting this Reyna. Okay. So additionally, you generally don't want to find yourself alone on this side of the map. And you frequently were doing that.
Hey, I almost always go over there and I don't ask for somebody.
So if that's happening and you're asking and they're not coming, then you just start on this side. And if you're going A, you split.
Okay.
And if you're going B, you just shift walk under. And it's fine to push arcade alone at this point. But you need to start with your team because on Fracture, it's very common for teams to aggress on defense. And you didn't get too burned by this, but you did get burned by it a couple rounds where you're like standing here alone and you're like, wait, there's 2 threats, and you died. You died to Reyna pushing dish. And without this like numbers to shield you from that aggression, you get in a lot of trouble. And the higher ranked you get, the worse this will get. Like they will be like Brimstone ulting the ropes so that you can't run away, and like stunning with breach and satcheling out here and running down dish. And this is a real thing that happens. I can show you clips, and you just die. And you need teammates, because if you have a teammate, you can at least fight back. If you're alone, you're so cooked. You're so cooked. It's not even close. So let me pull up the round I was talking about. Go to Brad's YouTube channel, because he posted this. Oh my god, he's not big enough. Oh my god, you guys gotta all go subscribe to Brad so I can find him faster. If you guys want to see me playing like Swift play challenges and whatnot, this is where you go.
Me too. Me too. I'll be on there as well, guys.
Which one is
All right. JG.
Not that one.
I kind of like.
Not that one. This one.
I got it. Discord gifted.
Oh, I'm him.
Turn around. Dude, you know, every time I.
Okay. Also, I want you to see. We're gonna talk about this. Watch when I crouch, because in my gunfight hygiene video, I explicitly say you should commit to the spray at mid range if you think you've tagged a bullet. And now, obviously, I'm not going to do that when there's 2 guys alive. If I commit to a crouch spray, I'm going to use target. But watch against this Phoenix. Right here, I'm crouching. I'm already started my crouch because I tagged at mid range. Now I killed.
Yes.
But notice I committed to crouch spray right there. You're going to see in fights where you don't do that.
This guy money. It's like something happens, bro.
Committing to the crouch. I'm still figuring that.
Okay, so now I'm holding in an off angle
to make him walk out. Okay.
If you peek while you're close to an angle like this, you take a lot of the agency away, and it's hard to explain. But this is sort of a big gap between really high level players and like medium or advanced players. Is you can find like these micro odds, and I'm gonna show you your fight. And now this guy did clear me, but even there, I won the fight. Let's go to your frenzy round.
It was first round of attack.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. I'm looking the wrong way. Here we go. Okay. So first of all, we're alone, dish side. No good. When you watch me playing Fracture in this scenario, I will be A main with that whole squad, and I'll just stim the team out. And I'll also encourage them to buy frenzies.
Okay.
I'm going to push dish. I need a friend. Anyways, you're scaling dish.
Bad peek.
Yeah, it's all right. But hugging the left here is good. Crosshair's just a little too close to the edge because you're in an off angle. Here you're walking away from the edge, close. At this point, if you just hold D, you're kind of chilling.
Okay.
But you don't. You continue to step forward a bit. And then you like switch to D. So it would be better if you tucked to like hold the guy almost. Okay, I can't play it in slow-mo in the VOD. You'll see like register the guy, and your instinct isn't to immediately run and gun with a strafe. Like you saw the guy. So now you want to run and gun. Why are we walking up diagonally?
Closer. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, let me draw in the Valo plant.
I also wasn't sure if he saw me as well.
It doesn't matter. The concept I'm about to explain. So let's say this is you, okay, and you're walking this way, and there's some arbitrary corridor that you're walking down, and there's an enemy that you know about here, and that's it. They don't know about you. Doesn't matter. And I'm actually going to make the corridor longer because it makes the analogy simpler.
Okay.
So what you don't want to be doing when you get peaked is having forward momentum.
Right.
Because your head is not moving relative to their crosshair, and you have movement inaccuracy. So it's like they're guaranteed to get the first shot. It sucks. And a lot of the time in these scenarios, you just can't push up the corridor without giving yourself a
Okay.
disadvantage.
Okay.
You just can't do it because you need util to stop this guy from swinging. So like a drone, a recon, a flash, a stun. These are like tools that people will use to target this guy and then run up the corridor. Like think Haven C long.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
So that's why in that clip you saw, I can't scale further. They see the bomb, they think I'm not. I can't scale further here without just dying if they're holding me.
Right.
Now I can use my flash, but I don't want to use my flash because there's 3 of them left alive. So I just wait. Because it's the only way I can find a fair or maybe even slightly advantage gunfight. And now I think it's decently likely nobody's there. And if they are, I can dismiss to like avoid the fight. So notice I almost never get into a fight while I have any forward momentum. That's what you need to notice.
Yes.
So watch here at the start when he offers me gifted.
Oh, I'm f***ing him.
As I'm peeking, this is all A and B.
Yeah.
And that is
Okay.
ridiculously important. And so here, you're like shifting up on them. And right here, you've got forward momentum as he peeks you. And so he's got nothing but sideways momentum. So this is not a 50-50.
Oh yeah, at all. Yeah.
It's not a 50-50. The way we approach the fight gives Cypher an advantage. Which sucks because we got the better gun.
Yeah. Okay.
So you gotta keep that in mind. We screwed up that fight. We let him AD us. So we either should have been ADing him like Ferrari or holding.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So here again, we're lonely. Dish side. It's sort of arguable because it's bonus round, but still having a teammate would be so lit.
Can't be lonely with a bulldog. Just the dog, not the gun.
Yeah, and I don't like that you're not ADSing with Bulldog here.
That is a comfort thing because I still don't tap when I ADS, so I get the 3 bullets off and then I'm still holding the trigger down. So I need to work on it.
Yeah, you should learn how to do that.
Yeah.
This is good. Yeah, and you see like Brim can't really come out dish, and we really should expect that fade. Look at the timer, 120 passed.
Yep.
You just forgot to check it. So again, it's macro problem. 120 is here. You shoot at this Cypher, you don't kill him, you just turn around.
Yeah.
Because it's 120.
100%.
So yeah, you didn't die here due to mechs. You didn't die due to confidence. You died because you're just not playing. You're not aware. So you got 2 options. You shoot at the Cypher, you whiff, and then you drop down. You give up dish, which is a valid option when you have such a big numbers advantage.
Yep.
And you just expect them to be pushing dish because it's 120. And there's no problem respecting the dish play here because it's 4v3. You can give them dish control and assume that they are dish. But it's kind of fielder's choice. I don't care if you fight for it too.
Okay.
Expecting flank time for arcade to dish 120? Yeah. Okay, so they flank us. We almost lose the round.
Right.
This round's all right. But again, when I'm splitting on this side, arcade. I really don't like pushing dish.
Yeah.
And the reason is sort of what I was explaining, the way that you can scale the two. Dish, it forces you to walk forward because the corridor is so thin and straight. While arcade is like, it's in angles.
Yeah.
And because it's so angular, you can usually AD a lot of the early fights. Like these early angles that people like to play are all AD peekable by you.
Right.
So it makes it easier for you to take them. And I mean, as long as you've got a friend, you still can get traded. It's the dish fight. It's so hard for you to scale.
Yeah.
Okay. VOD.
Yeah, I always go from that side, and I actually always hate the dish side, so it makes sense. I can start doing the splits that you're talking about, aiming and even splits.
Yeah. Then we learn Reyna's their dish player. Yeah, you barely moved in time, by the way. So when she jump spots you, what she's doing is she's learning where you are, and now she's going to pre-fire you.
Yep.
And watch what you do. You stay here to spray. You're already dead to me right now. I just jiggled and pre-fired you, and now look, you unswing, and there's the bullet. She's actually she pre-fired at you right there and there. She
Yeah.
did it. She's just slow because she's not me. But if I pull up movement mastery 2, I included this type of gunfight as an example of common gunfights to show that like
Is an endless.
peeking is like not a solved thing, and I can't just tell you what to do in every fight. But here, I jump spot, I see them, I even pinged where I saw them, and I pre-fire a bullet. And there's nothing that holder can do about this if they don't move. So like you, or if you're like the holder, if you're Reyna in this scenario against me, and I don't screw up, you die to me every time. Nothing you can do. And you don't want to give them the chance to kill you. And the higher rated we get, the more consistent they'll be at hitting a jiggle like that. Look at that movement error graph. I got you. Hey, you're right. It was a movement error shot too. It's low movement error though. It's hard to tell because it's only one bullet, but it's only 5-degree movement error. Yeah, and this is just bad. So if you think she's stuck out in the open, you have to use your Reyna's flash.
Yeah. I know. I should have calmed it. I should have asked for utility. I never asked for utility. I don't know.
But we got the trade. Chilling.
I mean, if she wasn't peeking, I wanted her to shoot the eye for me, but
yeah, we got the
it
trade.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Now you're more lonely.
This is a metaphor for life, though, Coach. I'm just so lonely.
Yep.
On the south side.
Yeah. And
I shifted that though, right? I think.
Yeah, so the smokes are a bit early. We haven't like scaled arcade at all yet. If they had already scaled up and they're here, you just died.
Okay. Which is why I want somebody with me.
Yeah, and when you expose this first angle, you're actually AS peeking. I look at it.
Backing up, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to back up first, then peek.
You need to peek those angles first, then smoke too.
True. Okay.
I think you're too worried about dying as the smoker.
I feel like where my brain is at is that I won't remember to go to the left and unexpose myself to smoke, and so I'll have utility out, and I'm just trying to. I don't know. I'm crutching myself on having utility out versus doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of
to your
course,
point,
this
smokes,
smoke you threw Jen's no good. You threw it bulbed out this way, which
Yep, I need to
actually
back it
kind
up.
of makes it easier for them to come out here unexposed to arcade. You don't have to be smoked this way.
Yep.
So when they come out, they're exposed to both arcade and close gen.
Okay.
The way you threw it, they can actually even stay in the smoke and pre-fire this angle.
That's what. Yeah, and I
Just
think I do
annoying.
that a lot with that smoke. Yeah.
Yep. Whatever though, you commit to the spray. He crouches under it. We had some movement error on our first couple bullets, but we got our fight. But of course, if we had a teammate with us, that fight gets converted every time because that Brim is crouched out in the open.
And very likely win the round.
Yep. And so here, of course, starting alone is a problem, but you need to push into one of the two because you know Brim plays arcade, Reyna plays dish. You can't just hold for them because you're going to get shot from one of the sides. So if you're, I mean, you can hold for them, but if you're going to do that, you need to hold for them from some cringe angle, like here or here, where your back is covered. So if you're holding dish from here, this guy doesn't see you, and they likely don't clear you as they come this way. And the same is true the other way.
I do it later, and I get killed from dish side instead of arcade side. We're doing the same thing because Reyna pushes out the next time.
I think
do
that's
it.
this round, but yeah. Oh no, you're right. This is Brim.
He kills me there, and then the next time I do it, yeah, Reyna pushes out. And,
Yeah.
and both times I'm alone, which is.
And when you turn here to hold for Brim, you do this late in the Reyna round, you should be ADS'd.
Okay.
Yeah, but you also tagged that guy, and I would probably spray there when you tag.
Okay.
A bit too bursty. Okay, this is good.
My nickname in high school was Bursty. So.
I think, yeah, this is the round where I gave you the play. I pointed out to you,
Yes.
hey, this guy's always arcade.
Yeah.
And then, bam. And you win the round. And I would just keep fighting him arcade. Essentially, you keep applying pressure on that weak link until they change something, and then inherently, when they change something, they're uncomfortable because that Reyna's comfort play was pushing dish, that Brim's comfort play is pushing arcade, and that Brim, when he has to stop doing it, somebody else has to take his spot, and now all of their like existing plans go into disarray.
Okay.
Okay, we push into the Reyna. I don't like it. I think you end up killing her. Maybe not this round.
There's nobody here this round. I think I died jumping down dish here.
Oh yeah, we're so slow. They're already way out B main. It's super unlikely that they've got a guy dish.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay. They just run over us this round.
Yeah, I remember this round. I was thinking to myself, I'm probably gonna walk CT right here.
I get shot CT. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking that CT seems likely, because you only saw 3 pushing out A main, and we didn't see anybody pushing out B main. And I don't know, something about CT feels like a 50-50 fight to me.
Yeah.
I can't really give you the full reasoning.
Mentally, I suspected it, but then I thought I would like get some weird, I don't know, timing by, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't push it.
Yeah, they were there. Feels bad. Yeah. I mean,
it's
a 2v5 though.
On the right hand side too, right? I didn't even actually clear it.
Yep. And here we are, alone.
And this is where Reyna comes out.
And we're just standing here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you should be ADS'd at this range, holding that angle.
Okay.
Yeah, of course we should be like down on the ground here. So these rocks give our back cover. Yeah. Yeah. Then we go arcade and it's lit.
Yep. And I get the trade this time instead of being traded. Baited.
Yep, it's lit. And now here I would even consider fighting Reyna. You're a number down. And I'm just assuming Reyna's pushing dish, you know?
Yeah.
So man down, I'm kind of just down to look for that fight.
I thought I heard Cam. I don't know if that was okay or not.
That's what I figured, yeah.
Okay.
This turns out being really good.
Is this too slow?
You can't really go much faster.
Okay. And then I just like.
Yeah, and you can see from where Reyna is, your Theo just killed her. She was here, pushed to arcade. She almost certainly pushed out dish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is just like hard to explain, but you saw this trip last round.
Yep. 100%. Oh yeah, as soon as it caught me, I was just like, I'm a moron.
Yeah, so these things are why you're not finding good fights. It's actually like confidence is part of why you're not converting good fights, but at this point, like I like the technique overall. Like in a platinum lobby, you're chilling. You should be fragging. But the problem is you're frequently finding yourself alone here between 2 threats. You're finding yourself walking into a trip that you knew existed. You're finding yourself walking forward up a corridor so that they can peek you. And so your odds in your fights are worse than 50-50. And that's why you're losing fights in this game. Not because of like confidence or technique, but because you're just not you're not taking the fights correctly. Let's watch. I don't even remember this round. Oh yeah, that was decent. I just don't like that we're pushing dish, you know, because we know it's Reyna.
Yep.
And Reyna's capable of converting the 2v1. We've got Brimult. I just Brimult tower. Fight their Brim arcade. Hit B. Okay, same idea. Good smokes. Throw them. Look at the timer. Now you got to make a decision.
Yep. And I go
left. You decide to drop down. We have to assume sight is clear is the problem, and I don't think you make that assumption.
No, I was still trying to continue to clear.
Yeah, if there's a guy crouched on site watching his teammates die dish and A main, you let this guy win the round because you're never gonna lose a full game to this guy because he's a moron.
Okay, that's fair.
So don't worry about dumb plays like that because.
And I would normally go where Reyna is. So I also was like, I just need to go.
Yeah, you drop down and your crosshairs staring at a double box and get shot. And then your teammates win you the round. But you didn't get to use your Brimult. And yet there is the guy at 120 pushing dish.
Yep.
And that's probably who I would recommend you'd isolate because you have to remember they've got the same problem walking up dish that you have.
Yes.
If you can happen to peek this while they're here, you've got like 60% odds.
Okay.
is super lit. I love it because they have to have this forward momentum.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's mostly it. Defense was good. You tried to aggress your space. There was that one round tower where I felt you left it too early. You had a Bucky.
With the Bucky, yeah.
And with the Bucky, like your teammates are going back A. You can't really do much. I would just stay tower with that Bucky because there was a Vandal here. And you wanted that Vandal. But
Yes.
in
Well, to be fair, the reason I left is I have this urgency issue still. They think they're going A. I want a Smurf playbook run with them. So it wasn't about the Vandal, to be fair, if I'm 100% honest.
Okay.
I just felt like I needed to go.
Yeah, but you got a Bucky. And the Vandal's important, not because like you want it, but because they think you want it. And so while they might like send some dudes A, it's pretty likely that they're going to keep some guy over here expecting you to want that Vandal who's going to cash out on their free kill.
Okay.
And so you can't really do anything about that Vandal until you see like all of them. And we saw a round like this yesterday on this map in Sentinels 100 Thieves, where so there was this huge skirmish dish 5 stack. So eco players are on defense, all here with frenzies. Okay. And then attackers are here with rifles. And it ends up going down to 2 versus 2. Okay, so the defenders have 2 left, the attackers have 2 left, and there's like a horde of vandals like out here. Okay. And the defenders make the really smart decision of we're just gonna sprint B immediately. Okay. And they play like a crazy rat setup on B with their frenzies. But the thing is, this rat setup is probably good for it if the enemy team walks into it unsuspecting. Okay. And their idea was we'll give them A. They're going to play a little slow because they're going to expect us to want these vandals. And then if they come B, we've got this rat setup. We don't need vandals. If they go A, we'll just retake through dish and grab those vandals. And that's what ended up happening.
Okay.
So essentially, you've got this vandal on the ground. And that's yours. It's just, unfortunately, the condition under which it is yours is once it's a retake o'clock. Like once you see all 3 of them and the vandal's safe to grab, you have to respect them expecting you to grab that vandal because there's no good fight for your Bucky. If you come out this way with your Bucky, you're crying in the club if they're over here.
Yes,
nothing you can do. And there's no reason to make that gamble. Let me pull up the round. Here it is. So you've got Brimalt and a 5v3. At this point, I don't like backing up. So I'm just going to keep controlling tower. We got a trip for B main. Tower is ours. And once I see all 3 on the minimap, I'll go grab the Vandal.
Okay, all right. So I'm going too early. So the jet ping says here, but I don't see
she
them on
totally
the map.
does hear one there. But like Cypher could be ratted arcade.
100%. Okay, I see what you're saying. So the urgency is get the information, then go versus trusting the comm.
Yeah, at this point, we still haven't seen Cypher. And if you're playing in higher ELO, it's a non-zero chance that Cypher's right here. He kills you, and then he runs dish, and it's 3 versus 3 for their team. You no longer have Brimalt, and you're actually in trouble.
Yep. Okay. All right. That makes sense.
And so the moment your spike planted and your KO peaks this Cypher, notice it's barely a change in timing. This is when I would leave tower. Spike planted, my KO peaks, he sees Cypher on site, and now I'd leave tower, grab that Vandal, and come play retake. And I'd probably run through dish.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
And I'm there at roughly the same timing that you got there. Oh, yeah. Watch your fight. Shift peak. Movement error. Laid out. Oh yeah, this routing was so bad. So rushing B main.
Yeah, I should have gone tower to your point.
Yeah, you go tower, and you don't even have like time to throw this smoke a lot of the time. And this ult's no good.
But you see how I hit that smoke though? Blind, yeah. Yeah.
But
I'm
did you see that
hey,
breach
hey,
pushing you on your mini map?
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see that at all.
I can tell because you're already moving to the right,
Yeah.
and you still had space to move to your left more. Like you can keep unswinging that breach while your gun is pulling out.
Okay.
So right here, there he is on your big
Ooh, I didn't-
iPad.
Yeah, no, I did not
And
see
you
that.
all,
Yeah.
if you just kept moving left here, you'd be able to tuck all the way,
Okay.
and your gun would come out in time.
Okay.
You'd be able to fight that guy. This is good. We screwed up the molly and here. And I actually didn't even check if you would have had a teammate. Remember, I told you when you get that kill and you feel obligated to swing, you can't swing because you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You just have
But
to
Rain
trust a
was there.
teammate has you. And actually, looking at the mini map, a teammate does have you.
Yeah.
So you kill
Rain
this
was
guy,
there.
your Reyna's about to swing or flash or something. She's gonna do something 9 times out of 10.
Okay.
And you know why I know that? Because half the time when I'm in this box and I tell Reyna not to do anything, she still swings.
Still does. Yeah. Okay. All right.
That dude's gonna swing.
Yeah.
And so I mean, hell, she did nothing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, when you kill one, you don't swing.
Okay.
Not
all right.
until like you take a breath. And a lot of the time, you'll just get help without needing to ask for it.
Okay.
But even if you don't get help, it's like better not to swing.
Yeah.
If they start like wall banging you, then you can swing. By the way, you're literally dead here. That B main.
If there be main. Yep.
There is one B main. Your jet saw them. Now you're over peeking an op. You should just be tucked. Your op takes a shot, then you swing.
Oh, jeez. I didn't even realize she had an op either. Okay.
Sure, let's
And
pretend
got
she
the
doesn't
first
have an
kill,
op
too.
though.
Yeah.
It's the same concept. Your jet can't join this fight at this angle with a rifle or an op. Doesn't matter. She can't swing to this angle from where she's standing.
Okay. So this. Okay. That's what you're saying. I need to let them show up on her mini map.
Yeah, your jet is
From
up
her
against this
vision.
wall canteen, and her sight line will draw it accurately. Extends roughly there. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
You're standing out here, away from this wall, and so your sight line. Let me use the line tool, maybe. Oh, how do I hold shift? Yes. Okay. So you can see your sight line goes a bit deeper.
Yes.
And well, let me fix jets. I've figured out the line tool. Well, bam. And the closer you are like to this wall, your sight line actually, I believe you're like looking closer to here. And
Yes,
for
yeah.
Jet to peek that angle, she's got to take this awkward space to her side. It just she can't really peek that angle to help you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they can easily unswing and run away.
Okay.
But for you to peek Jet's angle, really easy because you actually can peek deeper than Jet's angle.
Yeah.
So if Jet misses her op shot and they start running away, you can actually peek and see them as they're running away because you see
Okay.
deeper than her. So similarly, like even more optimally, like you might be dice, and now you can see really deep when you swing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
And so whoever has the shallower contact wants to be looking, taking the first shot. I know about the vision cones in Ubudo, but they don't intersect with walls as far as I know. Yeah. And so I was trying to demonstrate what she could actually see, and these don't intersect with walls. Yeah, so here I would just tuck. Regardless of
Okay.
her gun. And then you can swing off her, which is lit.
I think I missed that smoke.
Yeah,
Oh,
here
this
I'd
is
be
where-
rushing out to help Reyna.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what we're doing. Because she can see super deep. You can see super shallow. She's not going to peek off you. Nobody does that. Only good players do that. Can't trust your teammates to do that. Unless they're your duo or they explicitly tell you. To be clear, chat, I'm not advocating that everyone always swings off their teammate's contact. If your teammate says, yo, Brim, I'll swing off your contact, it's lit. You hold for them every day of the week, okay? But more often than not, your solo queue teammate is not, they don't care. and they're just going to be taking fights. And that's when I'm advocating that you go join them or you find ways to swing off them. Of course, if your teammate explicitly calls for you to hold a contact, absolutely. Every day of the week. I saw some people like in some comment threads being like, whoa, if everyone plays the way Wuhujin advocates, we're all just going to be baiting each other. No, I always follow the call. The thing is, nobody comms.
Yeah.
But if that Reyna comms, yo, Brim, hold my contact, I'll swing off you. Hell yeah. I got you. Yeah, so you can't hold the dish player here because they can walk out A main and just kill you.
Yes. Yeah.
So we can't be doing this.
So in that corner over there and watching it.
This is fine.
No,
Yep.
Yeah.
But then you keep switching back. Not fine.
Because to your point, I'm worried about it.
And then this is fine and really fine. I actually really just like controlling this space.
Okay.
You hear them sand. This is also fine. I'm down to just control sands. However, our KO turns out he's got it. So I'd look back A main.
Yeah. Okay.
And now this is, oh shit. I missed the pause button. I'm crying in the club. We're getting close to it.
It was like 11-9, I think, or something like that.
No, it's a defense round, huh?
Oh yeah, it was defense. Ignore me.
I found it.
Yes. Yeah. By 11-9, I meant 5-4.
Okay, so Cypher's coming out dish. There's no doubt in your mind, right? This dude just double caged.
Yeah.
They're committing. So the best thing you can do is you can't actually, there's no good way to hold his dropout from your angle.
Yeah.
He can definitely drop safely and peek you. Okay, that's out of the question. So it's off angle a clock on this guy. He just went ahead and blocked your line of sight from sand, so his teammates can't easily trade you. Thank you, Cypher. And so if you just move to your right, like crouch and hold this guy, it's super lit. And imagine here that you are crouched and holding, ready for him.
Yeah.
You're still in good shape. Problem is you're like doing these tiny micro wiggles left and right as if you're not ready for the guy to walk right into you. Like, watch again. It's hard to explain because players will do micro wiggles while they're holding, but it's like you're not in holding mindset. It's almost like you're in peeking mindset.
Yes.
Like you want to peek him. It's like really hard to explain because you're like so slow and you didn't commit to a crouch, even though we tagged at medium range. And so he's pulling his crosshair up to hit your head. You would have dodged it. That's crouch spray range.
Yeah.
And we tagged. So I think you just weren't mentally thinking, I'm going to hold this guy.
Definitely was not.
Yeah. It's like you're so close to coming to that conclusion. You're just a little too slow. That's why you die. And holding is like more common than you think. In terms of, like, let's go back to my hecking
Dude, you know, every
YouTube
time
clutch.
I offer this guy money, it's like something happens, bro.
Like I'm holding here. Because you've got like the element of surprise a lot of time when you're holding. Look, I actually play that angle now that I look at it.
Yeah.
I'm literally, so I'm expecting him drop and I'm in this off angle. Because I've got this great, like, it's really awkward for them to come out and look this deep on site. Because if you're that guy, let me show you why it's so awkward. So if my line of sight here is like way out here. So they've got to be this far out in the open. And if you're this guy out in the open at this point, it's very rare that you're looking sight. Generally, you're going to scale this way and you're going to look A main. And then you'll like jiggle and shoot this guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But because of the angle advantage that inherently occurs when they get close to this corner here, I see his gun. Because I see him peeking B main. He's close to this corner. I'm backed away from that corner to hold it. So the only real threat is this dude shift walking way out into the open, expecting me there. And then it's like a fair fight. Like it's not even a problem. It's just a fair fight, which is fine. But nobody routes this way. So I'm not even worried about this. And you can see here, he's looking to come out clearing like stairs,
Other,
main,
yeah.
and I get this huge advantage. And so this has nothing to do with aim diff. It has nothing to do with confidence diff. These things matter a ton. But here it's all about understanding how to maximize my odds in this engagement. This guy can't find a fair fight against me if he tried 10 times in a row.
Right. Okay.
Because I'm like thinking 2 steps ahead of him. I'm thinking about exactly how he's going to be peaking. And it's really hard to see these things when you watch like pro VODs because they're all doing it and it just looks like they get into 50s and they win 50s. So watch me play in Swift Play /S.
Right.
Okay, I hope open your eyes a bit. Like look at the Jess. She makes the same mistake. See, she's got Fade locked in here. And she's got an op in full health. What like Simple is doing is this dude's aiming in the middle of this box and just hitting the shot.
Yeah.
And what Jet does is she increases the range of the threats. So even that first smoke, I'm explaining Jet's mistake so you can see that everyone makes mistakes like this in your ELO. That smoke increases this distance now. So now Fade can peek from over here or here. And this is like, I don't know, 10 meters. While before she could only peek from here or here, which is like 5 meters.
Right.
And so it's easier to react when they can only peek this like 5 meter gap. And then Jet throws a smoke here. And now Fade could peek from like way over here or here. And it's like, what are you doing? You're decreasing your odds of winning the round dramatically. And then her crosshair, of course, belongs here where the threat is. She fixes that, but too late.
Yep.
Fade's already peeking.
Okay.
Quality of the fights, the quality. That's bad. Timing some kid out. Ignore that. I think we're good. I think we got through everything. Yeah. So pre-round plans just need a bit of work. Can't be contesting space alone on attack like this. Unless you're lurking really slowly. But even then on fractures, it's not good.
Yep.
And then really like concerned about the quality of the fight. So here you should already be expecting one potentially flank. And because you can expect that guy, you can find a high quality fight. So I would play those odds. Because it's really awkward for them to scale this way. Generally, you have a big advantage if you're just holding them.
Okay.
So like, I guess the pattern is holding them.
Yes.
A lot of the time you don't realize that holding is really broken in a lot of scenarios where you know that they're potentially coming and you choose to like move around and try and peek into them. And peeking can actually be really dangerous. There's like Peeker's advantage is a very real thing, but people don't understand when it applies. Peeker's advantage occurs when you have a very equal gunfight in terms of the qualities of the fight. So let's take a main. Both of these players have nearly identical advantages and disadvantages. There's a slight height difference, so that's the one thing that's different. But other than that, this guy's close to an angle. This guy's close to an angle.
Yep.
The range of the fight is quite long. They both have cover on either side. And they both have a large open space to work with. So you can't like nade this guy and he's dead. He can just run away. And he can't just nade you and you're dead. You can just run away. So this fight's very equal. So in fights like this, the person who peeks second has like a bit of an advantage. They've got peeker's advantage. But fights like this are really rare. Most of the time, you can turn these fights. Oh, some guy found my heckin' Valor player URL. You can turn these fights into advantageous fights. Like you can avoid this fight, smoke the cross, and sneak out over here and hug this wall up here. Like there's a million engagements in the game, and only a very small set of them have quote unquote peeker's advantage. A lot of the time, off angle or holder's advantage comes way more into play. And crouch holding in an off angle, we're gonna pull up any pro VOD right now. I challenge you to name a pro player on a map, one that I haven't seen, and we're gonna see. You're just gonna see them crouch hold shit. It's insanely common, and you don't do it at all.
You want me to name?
Yeah. Yeah, any pro player who's gonna have a VOD on YouTube.
Stellar Icebox.
Stellar Icebox Pro VOD. Okay, well, how about this Derek VOD that I also haven't seen?
Derek works also. Derek works also.
All right, let's go into some gun rounds. Scaling. Peek. And none, these fights are actually very similar quality wise. That guy's close to an angle. This guy's close to an angle. Yeah, get to a post plant scenario. He's got to take space. Of course, he's peeking. Oh, here we go. Oh, he's AFK. It's like, what the hell?
So what you're saying is reach out and hold angles. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Feels bad for him. Let's watch his Viper too. They're being really careful while they're peeking, but she's trying to get behind.
I gotta figure out how to stop doing that with shift because they're clearly doing the silent peek without shift.
Yes, you should not be touching shift at all.
Yeah, bad about it. I think also acknowledging maybe my confusion. I think I don't know if conflating is the right word, but aggressive with smart.
Yeah. So here, Derek's dead, but Cryo, this guy's pretty good, and he's just chilling, holding this off angle for a bit. And if they came out, Cryo's killing that guy. This angle's sick. But then he's like, okay, I need to take some space, and they're definitely not tube. Oh, here we go. Let's watch the Cryo clutch. See, the enemy team isn't like rushing to peek into this guy. You see what Sova's doing?
He was holding.
He's holding a crazy off angle, and when the wall comes down, it's just like, what the hell? How do you predict that?
Yeah.
Reyna's just holding in an off angle. And the reason why this play works is because they don't know Reyna's there.
Right.
And if she's just peeking, hunting every fight off rip, then Derek's crosshair is not where it is right now. See, Derek doesn't think anybody's back there.
Yeah.
He clears gem and bam. Oh, shit. Plat player expects that /S. Damn, that guy constructed a perfect circle. Could not be me. I've been working on that tech. And we get like no post plans. Feels bad for Derek. Right here, he's holding with a Marshall. Let's actually look at how he gets this first kill. We might peek into it. Now he's holding. It's like really hard to explain how to find these, of course. But notice he, of course, doesn't want to peek into them because he has a Marshall. He wants to find timing where he can hold them peeking into him. And I mean, this is like my movement mastery part 2 video. Like you should go watch again through those fights. There's no one size fits all solution to a gunfight. You really have to try and think about how they're going to take it and how it can best be exploited. Like there's no simple always do this at this range, always do this at this range. It's not like gunfight hygiene where it's very straightforward for 95% of fights. Peeking's really complicated. Like showing you like me holding that off angle in the fracture 1v5 clutch, like you can see like by example that it's really good, but how did I find that angle in that moment? Because it's not like something I prepped, you know?
Right.
I just thought about how they would be peeking out, and they didn't think about how I would play in response to that. Like they didn't counter it back. And I played a Swift play with Brad like later after that, and we faced like a Radiant player, and you'll see like I expected him to be playing differently as well. I'd be like, oh, this guy's looking at me now, and I peek and he's looking at me, and Brad's like, how do you know that? And I'm like, because he thinks I'm gonna do this, and he's like, what the? People are actually playing like that? I'm like, yeah. And so while in Platinum, you might get to a point where you always rail these kids and you figure out exactly how they're going to play, it'll stop working in Ascendant or Immortal or whatever. It's like it keeps getting harder.
Yes, and I have noticed.
Yeah,
that.
and it's why I hate when people say, oh, Platinums are so hard to predict or Silvers are so hard to predict. No, these guys don't think at all about how they peak or hold. And so it's really easy to farm them. Really easy. Yeah, they don't think about macro, but the game isn't just macro. Like, their macro is very unpredictable. You got me there. But that is not a problem. All right, let's go to defense because this guy's offense is painful. He keeps dying before we get to post plant. Just holding there. Less them peek into him. Change his angle. But he is wiggling. Notice here, he's already baiting Cryo. He swung off Cryo's contact. Get the trade.
Okay.
We don't do much of that at all in our defense playbook.
At all, no.
Yeah. Here, what's he looking at? You can even see. Look at his webcam. Look where his face is looking.
Minimap.
He's looking directly at the minimap, and then you'll see this guy, our teammate is Maze. They're holding his cross. And so what's Derek going to do? He's going to see an enemy on the minimap, and he's going to peek. Now, that sucks.
Yeah.
But he saw enemies on the minimap, and that's the thing. These players are already a step ahead as well. They know that Derek's likely to play contact. And so their support players back here nest holding the guy swinging off the contact. Like,
okay.
But in your plat lobbies, you're just killing them all.
Sometimes.
Yeah, of course. Holding. Fast rotate. Recon sees nothing. Oh, I know this shock. This feels bad. Oh, here we go. This Reyna's really good at finding these, though. Notice she's not directly in danger. He was like in this off angle, holding as the wall went down, didn't see anybody, and then she decides to swing. So right as his wall comes down, that Reyna is like here.
Yes, yeah.
And if Derek were out in the open, he's in a lot of trouble. And then she decides to swing. Because she doesn't think Derek is just sitting on site holding her there. Damn, this guy's still on Marshall. Yeah, I'm trying to think of ways to like somewhat flowchart it for you. The best time to swing is when you think they're about to swing and you think you're going to do it like right before they do it. Because I'm sure you've been the guy swinging and they're already like wider than you thought and they shoot you.
Yep, it happened.
That's sort of what Brandon was there. Oh, here we go. Yeah. You see this wall? Look at him quietly sneak into off angle. Look where Viper's looking. And so we get free kill. But we get traded because we're in Radiant. Feels bad. But you don't get traded as fast. Damn, dude. Harbor is so good on this map. I'm surprised. This is a solo queue game. There's double Harbor, double Viper. See where we are right now? We're just chilling. He doesn't want to have to peek that Reyna. It feels really bad. So we peek, we took our shot, and now he's trying to wait for that Reyna to feel like he's not going to re-peek, and that Reyna to put her crosshair towards this Killjoy. That's when he wants to re-swing. But he's wrong. It feels bad. She knows he wants that. Feels bad, Viper roll. I was hoping to see him play. There's this angle I showed another student recently, but he's not playing it, which makes sense against this comp. Is really annoying. But on Icebox, on defense, if you expect them mid, you can actually drop and like crouch against this wall to hold, and it's super free because these dudes swing out looking boiler.
You're looking boiler. Okay.
And if you're just crouched and you know that you're going to commit to the spray when they peek you, you just like lay them out. See, that's what's so scary about controller util. It lets these players get into weird off angles and hold you. And you can't like see them getting into those angles. You can't stop them from doing it. Damn. This guy's playing Marshall only at this point. Wow, his team actually wins that. What that guy's doing? Oops.
Viper holding, yeah.
Yeah, I want you to watch it again. This guy's a pro player. Enemy Viper.
That's a Leviathan, right?
Yep. And so they know that if they peek, they might accidentally peek into like 2-3 people. And the most common way to win these like clutches is to get your one, find the next fight. Look where she's moving. She's looking to hold this guy. And now she's dodging. See that shot though? She was stationary holding.
Yep. Okay.
But of course we've got insurmountable numbers advantage. And the reason why they're just peeking into Viper and dying is because they've got 4 people. They know that they can trade down and kill her.
Yeah.
But in an individual fight, that Viper's got a big advantage. It's just they're fine taking the disadvantaged fight because it's all about it forces the Viper to give up space. And eventually she runs out of space and loses the round.
Okay. All right.
What's who's teaching JPC? The quality of the fights he's finding is bad. And so he's losing them. And it's not necessarily a technique issue. It's the fights that he's actively looking for. And yeah, it's not simple. Like you can't just find advantageous fights. Oh my God, what a kill. You see how we died? Again?
He's holding, yeah. Sova holding.
Yeah. Sova's in this weird off angle. See, he's not just close to Jen. And so we're like, oh shit. And we die. Navi, thank you for the 3 months. Eric's having a bad game. Feels bad.
Makes me feel better about my bad games.
Look at that. Now that's lucky for Killjoy, right? Like if you had to give odds right now to a Killjoy swinging out of that Viper orb into this Viper who's in an off angle.
With a judge.
Yeah, but even if we give a Phantom to this Viper,
Yeah.
you want to be the Viper here most of the time.
Yeah.
She's just holding it a little poorly. This doesn't seem like something you can practice. It is. You can be conscious of it.
You can do it in DMs quite easily, actually.
And that's why I'm trying to point out patterns to JPC, though. That specifically, he doesn't hold from off angles enough. He doesn't try to like crouch and rat in an off angle to pick off a likely peeker. And it's really common when you're expecting like one peeker, like there's no trade. So that Cypher dish is lonely in that fracture round. You know he was alone. And so crouching in the off angle is great because the worst thing about those angles is that you can get traded for free because you're stuck in the open. But if it's one guy, you can't get traded because where's the second guy? And you always assume you kill the first guy.
Yeah. And I think,
See what that
there's
Killjoy's doing? She's holding it in an off angle, but do you see how Cryo's playing it? You see how he's slicing even like angles that aren't normal?
Yep.
Because he knows that she should be holding in an off angle, expecting him to hunt her when the clutch, but Cryo's a step ahead. And so her crosshair there was probably too wide for Cryo. That's why he's peeking so carefully. Because she's holding wide because she's in an off angle. Ooh, actually, I think she was ready. I think she's ready for Cryo to expect it. I think she missed the shot.
It's probably Baby J. I'm kidding. Any Baby J fans? I think that this is something I need to mentally adjust to, because I'm peeking everything because I think that's how I should be playing aggressive.
Yeah, there's three types of advantages in the game in gunfights. There's off angle advantage, which I'm going to call is number one. Like, this is the biggest advantage in a gunfight. If they can't negate this with like a flash or a trade or something, this wins nearly every fight. There's peeker's advantage, which can't be understated. This is a real thing, and it's very important, but it comes number two. If you're peeking into an off angle, the off angle is winning. Okay.
Yep.
And then there's number three, which is like gun advantage. So any type of fight that favors a certain gun, so can negate these two. So let's say I'm opping in that Haven A main scenario, and I'm holding. Now the peeker's advantage that this other player had doesn't exist because I've got gun advantage. So even though the qualities of our angles are very similar and peeker's advantage normally applies here, because there's a gun differential, it doesn't apply. Same idea if I'm heckin' peeking, but I've got a frenzy and I'm peeking into a guy with a vandal. Well, that's dumb. My gun is so weak that no amount of peekers or off angle advantage applies in this fight at all.
Yeah.
So those are like the three. Off angle comes on top. Like this, if you can say I'm definitely, and we're going to go back to my clutch, okay? One last time so you can see me applying these concepts in real time.
Yeah.
It was this one. It was not that one. This one. Okay. Look, both of these last two fights here, off angle advantage. Off angle advantage. So the only time this isn't an advantage is they don't peek into it. They don't peek into it. Shouldn't gun advantage be on top if it negates the other ones? No, because there's also like, I guess sometimes, yeah. It really depends. We're going to call it, you make a good point, and I'm going to reword how I wrote it. I agree with you. We're not going to call it gun advantage because that just means like you got the better gun. But it should be like the fight specific gun advantage. Because if I have a shorty, that can be a gun advantage against an op. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the fight. So yeah, if you have a big gun advantage for the type of fight that you're taking compared to the other person, that it does come number one. And then off angle. And then peekers. Yeah. I agree with that analysis, chat. Because if we go back to my scenario that we're about to watch one last time, imagine if Cypher had a judge here. Cypher who peeks me. Or sorry, who peeks me? Sage. Imagine if she has a judge. My off angle advantage is negated because her gun is so incredibly strong in this type of fight against my Vandal. But if I had a judge too, now I'm in an advantage again because I got the off angle. Okay. So the guns come into play first, but here we have equal guns. And now I've got off angle advantage and she's peeking into me. So I've got good odds. And notice when I peek, I'm still wary that they didn't go for the trade because they know I'm Reyna and they're playing like a weird off angle like here. I peek it pretty poorly, but I was clearing it. Then I take off angle advantage again right there. And then of course this just AFK. But I still have my flash.
They were so scared. Yeah, they got scared in AFK.
Yeah, maybe. And if we look at the first two fights that I shouldn't have won, they have these advantages there.
Yeah.
But fortunately, I'm swinging as they're shooting at JG. So I get the trade, and I noticed that the Phoenix was also looking at Jay, so I don't use my dismiss, and I take the fight. Because I don't want to dismiss away and let this guy go into a new off angle and force me to use a flash, maybe, and then even then I might not be able to clear him. There's this big open space. He can flash me. I have to kill this guy here, so I don't dismiss. And I'm not thinking consciously about that, but I am thinking about that subconsciously. That's why I fight him. So you over prioritize Peeker's advantage, and you want to find ways to take space, but get fights in these ways.
Yes. Yeah.
So taking space is still really important, but a lot of the time you can use utility to take space a bit safer on attack, and then you can find ways to play these. On defense is way more common though, of course, that you can finesse your ways into these fights, and that's sort of why I don't like Fracture with the Bucky. You can't come out to grab this Vandal because gun disadvantage. All right. We got to end stream. It's pro analysis time.
Okay.
Thank you, JPC. Good luck on the climb.
Yes, thank you.
Let's just go raid. Yeah, sure, Ludi Lou. All right, tier 3s. I'll see you at pro analysis literally right now. I'm gonna go start that event. Thank you everybody for showing up to the stream. I'll see you tomorrow for free VOD reviews. Have a nice day, everybody. Peace out.